All right. Now this will be the rant of all rants. And if you're an angry Mets fan, this is a channel you want to follow and subscribe to. Just give you a little background about myself. I used to do an old channel called The Comic Cut, and I did not hold back. Okay? And now, if you are a Mets fan, and I love the Mets, and I've been very easy on them for the last, my third season doing videos on them, I've sort of been very light, I've had a very light touch on them for the first 3 years. Well, a little bit longer than that now, I guess. Just sort of covering them every day. But that's kind of going to go out the window for this video and probably moving forward. I don't like, and I know you don't like what you're watching, day in and day out. Now, it's not a manager's problem, in my view. I don't think that the manager's the problem at all. This is not Luis Rojas. This manager has seen it all. He's done it all. The problem is the production, and I also think that part of the problem is players that should not be here are here, and some of them have to go. I'm gonna go through these players. I'm gonna go do the whole team as much as I can in this video. I was thinking about doing a live stream, but I want to be able to do it in a regular video so you can watch it. And now, if you are a Mets fan and you don't like some of the things I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna keep it very real about what I see with this team. So here we go. Now, the starting pitching, I'll just do an overall thing. The starting pitching has been terrible. They've had to deal with injuries to Quintana. They're not going to get to after the All-Star break. They didn't have Verlander for the first month. Carrasco pitched terribly until he got hurt. Now they say he's sick and has put back his rehab. Max Scherzer has been dreadful since that start in Atlanta. He's been terrible. He hasn't been a major league pitcher. Okay? Now, Verlander, we're going to see. I thought that Verlander on Wednesday, I thought he had, or whatever day it was, Thursday, I thought he had really good stuff. Once he got out of the first inning and he was able to get it, his feet under him, he was terrific. But he has to push himself to get more innings. This team doesn't. These pitchers, these starters cannot continually to be out of the game before the fifth inning. It's going to kill the bullpen, and it killed the bullpen today with the Rockies. That's the first problem. Another problem is the offense. The way this team has hit since September of last year, that has continued. That trend has continued into this season. They don't hit with men on base, and that is a big problem. They were doing that in 21. They've reverted back to that. That has got to change. I think if you move the person... First of all, I think the personnel needs to be moved around a little bit, and some players have to be out of here. But all right, now I'm going to go do these players. If you're fans of these players, I'm sorry about the things I'm going to say. Tomas Nido. Going into Sunday, he's hitting 118. An on-base percentage of 148. Slugging percentage, 118. His OPS, that's not the horrible number. His OPS is 266. His OPS plus, negative 24. He is not a major league player right now. Okay? He played well last year when the Mets played him, but he has been just horrific since he's had this ability, this chance to play a lot this year. And really, he's lost his job. Francisco Alvarez, you're starting to see he's good defense. I'm very surprised at how good defensively he is. He's excellent behind the plate. It's all about him getting his feet wet, getting himself comfortable. The offense is going to come, and you're seeing it. You're starting to see little bits of it. Pete Alonso, he's been fine. But obviously, other teams are pitching behind him and Pete's pressing. I'm not concerned for him. Bat him clean up, leave him alone. Jeff McNeil, other than his 0 for 11 that he carried into Sunday's game, he has been every bit the batting champion that he was last year. And he had 3 hits, and he was batting third. He must bat third on this team. He cannot bat 6th or 7th on this team. You want him to get as many at-bats as he can. Bat him third, and that's it. Francisco Lindor. I was not a fan of the trade when it happened. I was not a fan of them giving him all that money before he played a full season in New York. In the 2+ years he's been here, which is his 3rd season here, he's hitting .250 as a Met. He has not had an OPS over 800 since 2019. He cannot bat third anymore on this team. I'm fine with him batting 5th. I can live with him batting 5th. He's too inconsistent as a hitter to be batting third in the lineup. I want my hitter that's going to bat third who's consistent. He is a mess right now. He's got, before the game today, on Sunday, he's got 17 extra base hits and 11 singles. He has to have more singles. I mean, it's a weird thing to say. And he's not really hitting all that great. He's had these RBIs. He's got a lot of RBIs, but they're in bunches. He's been very inconsistent. He has struck out coming into Sunday 38 times at 126 games. That is a quarter of his at-bats. Leading the Mets in strikeouts. Does anybody know that he's been leading the Mets in strikeouts? I'm looking at Baseball Reference right here, and I didn't realize that he was leading the league in strikeouts until I started reading this. He is not a number 3 hitter. His on-base percentage is too damn low to be batting third. Going into the game is .317. His OPS is .754. That's pathetic. Now his WAR is hard because he's actually had a great defensive season at shortstop. He's actually been excellent at short. But you can't play him. You can't bat him third anymore. And I don't even know if you should be batting him second. I know he batted second on Sunday. Bat him 5th. He'll give Pete some protection. Eduardo Escobar. He has been terrible. I mean, we know that. That's why Brett Beatty's playing every day. Beatty's going to be playing every day for the rest of the season. Beatty has looked great at third. He's looked great at the plate. He works a count, can take a walk. He's got tremendous power to the whole field. He is fine. Play him at third. Don't take him out. Just play him every day. Don't mess around with that. Mark Hanna. Let me explain something to Mark Hanna. Nobody cares about your stupid fucking food YouTube channel. Your .223 batting average and .308 on-base percentage. Nobody gives a shit. Stop doing these stupid fucking videos on YouTube and get yourself going. 677 on OPS. OPS plus 89. Well, that's great. Why don't you go down to another restaurant in New York, in crime-ridden New York, and pretend it's great down there? Brandon Nimmo. He has been the best Met this season. I know he got thrown out in that game in Detroit, but Brandon Nimmo has been the Mets' best player from the beginning of the season until now. He's been their best defensive player. He's been great offensively. He's been a leader on this team. He took total account of himself in Detroit in that last game. And then he came back on Friday and had a great game. He is top-notch. He will be the leader of this Mets club. They had said before the All-Star break last year that the Mets wanted him to be the Mets' next captain. I have no problem with that at all now. He is a leader, and he is a great guy, and he's played great, and he will be an all-star. Stays healthy, he will be on the all-star team. All right, Starling Marte. Is it me or is he injured? Because he comes across to me as somebody who's injured. He's not running hard. I know he makes a lot of things look easy, but he looks like he's injured. I will hold off a little bit on him because I get a sense that there's something wrong with him physically. All right, Daniel Vogelbach. If you're a fan of his, you're not going to like this. You'll probably be very angry at me for saying this, but he's a loser. Daniel Vogelbach is a loser. He's not a good winning player, and we saw that today. You cannot get thrown out at second when you. First of all, he cannot move in the field. He can't play first. His mobility is not there. There's a reason why he's bounced around. There's a reason why he's been on a lot of bad teams. He's a loser. And he is the first guy, in my view, that needs to go. Because you cannot have a player, and I saw it, the press, the press talked to the Mets after the game. He said all the right things, all patent answers. But he didn't believe a damn word of what he said. Okay? He didn't believe a damn word of what he said. He didn't. Because he's a loser. I hate to get to that point, but he's a loser. You have to get him out of here. Okay? And he's only making $1 million. You can move him pretty quickly. Get some pitching help in here for him. Tommy Pham. He's been fine for what he is. He's a 4/5 outfielder. I'm cool with him. He does hit from time to time. He does run into a fastball once in a while, hits it out. Luis Guillorme. He should not be playing every day. He should be playing less than what Buck has been playing him. He played him today at second. You cannot play him at second. I would mention this before I forget. I was able to watch the game on Saturday, and Buck had Canna playing first, and Escobar playing second. If you're gonna do that, just call up Mark Vientos and have him play first, and have Ronnie Mauricio play second. I mean, if you're gonna have two guys that could barely hit their own weight combined, then just call them up. And Luis Guillorme is another guy. You cannot play him even on an everyday place. You can't even play him once a week. I don't think he's, in terms of his offense, he's just not a major league player. He's a great defensive player. One day he's going to win a Gold Glove, but he's terrible. He's horrible. I'm sorry if you don't like some of this, if you're watching, but this is how I feel about this team, about what I see here. The Mets have to call up Mark Vientos and Ronnie Mauricio very soon. Vientos should be here. Vientos hit another home run on Sunday. He's got 11 home runs now. And that production is going to waste in AAA. We'll get into the end of what the Mets should do, but I'm just going to go through some of these players. Now the starting staff. And like I said, they've been pretty lousy. Tyler McGill, up and down, up and down, up and down. A big problem with the Met pitching has been their walks. They lead the league in walks. You can't win that way. Now Kodai Senga, he has pitched okay. He's had 3 good starts and 3 lousy starts. But he can't be walking the ballpark like he's been. He's not going to be able to be successful. David Peterson, out of here. The Mets sent him to AAA, which was probably the smart thing to do. I'm glad they did that. Max Scherzer, he is making a lot of money. He's taking a lot of money from Steve Cohen, and he needs to pitch better and stop making excuses and stop creating this drama around him. Joey Lucchesi. He's pitched okay. I think the Mets kind of put him in a bad spot by bringing him back on short rest. It kind of hurt the Mets in 2 games. I think that was a little unfair for them. Carlos Carrasco. If I never see him pitch again for the Mets, I would be a very happy person. I know he won 15 games last year, but the first year he pitched terribly. This year he's been horrific. The good part about the Mets has been their bullpen. Although they're taking on some leaks over the last couple of, last two series because of the starting staff has been so bad. David Robertson has been almost perfect. He's done a great job holding down the line and holding the fort down at the end of the game. Drew Smith, he's pitched well, but he still walks way too many batters. His walks per 9 innings is 4.8. He continues to do this. This is not, the ERA is going to go up, and he's just going to drag. John Curtis, out of here, went back to AAA. Didn't pitch well. Adam Ottavino, he's had his moments. He's got 4 saves. He did not pitch well the other day in the game the Mets lost. Brooks Raley, he's hurt. I've not been impressed with him at all. Now, the rest of the guys, the only guy could really, the bullpen is, like I said, has been pretty good. So it's not a situation where I could really rant and complain about the Met bullpen. Other than that, they're just going to get worn down by pitching so much. Justin Verlander, like I said, he had that bad first inning, but after he settled down, he looked pretty good. He looked really good. I was very happy with what I saw in that game. He had really good stuff, and he was throwing really, really hard. So, Scherzer's not throwing hard, but I felt that Verlander has been pitching. He pitched really well. All right, before we finish this up, please, of course, leave comments in the comment section and like the video. I don't like being mean to the players, but I will be mean. And hopefully people will respond to this and start thinking about what this team needs. They are listless. They have very little energy. They need a good swift kick in the ass. But some players have to get out of here. I think, like I said, the first player that has to go is Daniel Vogelbach. He's a loser. Sorry to say it. Okay, I hate to be that mean, but he's not a winning player. Tomas Nido, when Omar Narvaez comes back, the Mets should seriously consider sending him back to AAA. I don't know if he has any options left, any minor league options left. He might be out of options. I'm not sure about that. But right now, he's not a major league player, and he'd probably be better off just playing every day somewhere, just to get his bat rolling. Because as I see, Alvarez is the everyday catcher here now. The lineup should be now, for the moment, Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil. McNeil's got to bat third in this lineup because you've got to get him more bats. He is your best hitter. He's the best hitter in the National League right now. And that's where he should be. He'll get protection from Pete. That's probably why he had 3 hits today. I would say and suggest that the Mets probably bat Lindor fifth to give Pete some protection and maybe rotate the number 2 spot. I would not have a problem batting Beatty second just due to the fact that he's able to take pitches, and then he'll give you a quick run with a home run, and he'll get protection batting in front of McNeil. I know it's putting a lot of pressure on him, but I think that from what I've seen of him, I think he can handle it. And Eduardo Escobar cannot be playing. He should not be on this team too much longer. His biggest attribute is he's a good guy, and he's been a leader for these younger guys. He's treated Brett Beatty great. So I have a little soft spot for him because he's a guy that has gone through a lot in his life, especially his baseball life. I respect him. Like I said about Mark Hanna, he's got a contract, but the team has a team option on him for next year. I would suggest to Mark Hanna, focus less on your food channel and more on your job, and that's getting some hits, getting on base, and enough of that bullshit. I also would say that the Mets should think about putting Starling Marte down lower in the lineup until he gets his bat rolling. Put him in a spot where he's not hurting the team. This is the thing I've noticed, and I think you'll notice it too, is how many times in the 3-hole and the 2-hole the Mets are ending innings. How many innings have the Mets ended with the number 2 hitter making the last out and the number 3 hitter making the last out? That has got to change. Because you cannot have your best hitter standing on the on-deck circle like a fool. And a lot of times Pete is stuck there, and then he's got to go back to first and start the next inning leading off. You can't have that. And, like I said, Daniel Vogelbach, loser. He's got to go. He can't be here. And I'm not going to make fun of his girth. I'm just going to say he's not a winning player. But I'll say it in a more forceful way. He's a loser. As simple as that. Now, the pitching stat, the Mets are going to have to wait a little bit just to see where their health is. They need to get Verlander going. They have to figure out what the hell's going on with Scherzer. I hope to think that... I don't want to think that he's done, Scherzer. And he's taking a lot of money from the Mets. He's got to wake up now. There's no fooling around now. It's go time. And, I basically said what I needed to say. I don't know if you agree with me, disagree with me, but I hope you watched and enjoyed this video. And please leave comments. And, of course, I thank you for watching. This is a very long video. I don't normally do long videos like this. And if I do, it's usually in a live stream. And the birds don't care. That tells you everything you need to know about baseball and life. Is birds don't care. Animals don't care either. They'll chirp and do their own thing, and they don't care if you're ticked off or going through a rant or acting like a crazy person about sports. But hopefully the Mets can turn this around now. They're going to have a interesting road trip, 6 games against 2 bad teams. They've not played well against bad teams the last they've lost 5 out of the last 6, 11 out of the last 14 games. When they're done with those 6 games, they will be playing the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays. And I noticed that they took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees this past weekend. That's a whole ball of wax right there. That's a different situation right there. But keep our fingers crossed. The Mets have to, I believe they'd make these moves, make these changes. Consider putting Beatty second, McNeil third, Lindor fifth. See how that works. Get Vogelbach out of here. And a couple other things, like I said in this video. So, and of course, with guys like Escobar in Canada, you can find guys that can do what they do that are having better years. Escobar has no position here. Okay? And if he's going to play second and not play well and continue not to hit, then you're better off getting him out of here either for some value or release him and bring up Mauricio or Vientos. It makes no sense, again, to have young guys in the minor leagues wasting at bats down in the minors when they can be taking those at bats and learning up here. Now, I don't know where Mauricio's development is at second base. I know Vientos is ready. I think he can play third a little bit, first a little bit, outfield, and DH. He has a lot of flexibility. I would mention this before I go. The Mets should consider bringing Vientos up and making him the regular DH. If he's capable of doing the job and capable of continuing on what he's been doing in AAA, make him the everyday DH. Maybe put Escobar there. The one thing you cannot have is you cannot have Vogelbach on this team. He has to go. He cannot be on this team. Well, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. We'll get through this, and thank you, and I'll see you later.